They want you to laugh when you hear the word unicorn. They want you to think it's just some fairy tale for little girls. But what if I told you that unicorns were real? What if I told you they were so real? They were even in the Bible. That's right. In the original King James Bible, the word unicorn appears 9 times. Numbers 23:22, Job 39:9, Deuteronomy 33:17. Go check it yourself. But when you look at the newer versions of the Bible, the unicorn is gone, magically replaced with words like oxen or wild bull. Why would they do that? Because the unicorn was never just a symbol of innocence. It was a real creature that didn't fit into their fake evolutionary chart. It didn't line up with their lies about cavemen and dinosaurs. It pointed to a world more magical, more advanced, and more powerful than their textbooks can explain. And that world was Tartaria. Tartaria was a civilization of wonders, grand architecture, free energy, massive buildings that still stand today, wrongly labeled Victorian or colonial. But Tartaria also had creatures, real creatures, that were unlike anything in today's manufactured zoo. The unicorn was one of them, not the glittery cartoon version, but a powerful horned beast. Some were like giant horses, armored with bone. Some had spiral horns that carried electromagnetic properties, possibly used for healing or even communication. The elites didn't just erase Tartaria, they erased the animals of Tartaria too. Unicorns, griffins, phoenixes, dragons, not myths, remnants, survivors from a world before the reset. Let me tell you something. In the 1600s and 1700s, maps, texts, and royal seals showed unicorns like they were common knowledge. Scotland's national animal is still, to this day, the unicorn. Look it up. Ancient explorers wrote about single-horned beasts. The Chinese had the qilin, a unicorn-like creature that was considered a sign of a wise ruler. India had stories of divine single-horned horses. Even Marco Polo described a horned creature he saw. And no, it wasn't a rhino. They tell us now that all these people were confused. You think ancient seafarers, world travelers, emperors, and prophets were confusing a unicorn with a rhinoceros? They've been re-educating us, brainwashing us. And here's how the scam works. First, they remove the unicorn from religious texts. Then, they say the creatures never existed, calling them myths. Then they flood us with cartoons, toys, and glitter to make sure nobody takes the word unicorn seriously. They turn ancient truth into a joke. And just like they did with unicorns, they did the same with giants, dragons, Tartaria, and even the shape of the earth. They gave us a fake history and called it education. They built museums full of lies. They created an entire zoo system to gatekeep real creatures. And when they couldn't hide it anymore, they called it a hoax. Or worse, they called you crazy for asking questions. Now let's go even deeper. Why did they erase the unicorn? Because it was a symbol of purity, power, and free will. In many ancient stories, unicorns could only be approached by the pure-hearted. They represented truth. And the rulers of today, the parasites feeding off our energy, can't stand anything that reflects truth. They want obedience, not wild freedom. They don't want you to know you come from a world where unicorns roamed, where energy was free, where buildings healed the body and minds were sharper than AI, where humans lived in harmony with powerful creatures, not under the boots of politicians and pharmaceutical demons. And here's the kicker. They didn't just erase unicorns to rewrite history. They erased them to rewrite you. They want you to believe in scarcity. They want you to believe in weakness. They want you to think nature is random chaos, not divinely ordered creation. But the truth is, this Earth, the flat Earth, was once full of miracles, and it still is, if you can see through the fog. We are living in the ruins of Tartaria, walking past the bones of giants, under skies once filled with dragons and ships of light. The unicorn isn't gone. The unicorn is just hidden, just like the truth. They can erase the word from the Bible. They can mock it in cartoons, but they can't destroy the spark of truth that's waking up in all of us. So next time someone laughs at the idea of unicorns, remember this. You're not the crazy one. They are. They've traded truth for comfort. We are trading comfort for revelation. The unicorn was real. The past was majestic. And we are remembering everything. The time for waking up is now.